Hi beautifuls, welcome to YILDIZ Readings 5D. For those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I cover astrology and everything else I cover is above on the screen. Now, we don't like long intros, so my contacts are directly below, and how to book, what, where, why, how has been all left to the end. Those of you who have clicked the link, I do automate posts to keep you in the loop as when I'm coming live and where I'm going to be. So without further ado, let's get into the update and the real reason you're here. Enjoy. Grab a cuppa, sit back and relax. Love to hear your feedback. Hi beautifuls, welcome back. Yes, we're here to do your update, and these are done this way on this occasion for the monthly due to the fact I am moving, but during the month I will be live and I will be back on video again, so apologies ahead of time. Without further ado, let's get into your update. Hi beautiful Leo, we're here to look at your love and general. We will be covering your career, your money, your health and well-being, as well as the moon transits. Now, in the love report, we are connecting to those of you that are single, those of you that are in a connection, as well as those of you who are on the fence, and how this month is going to transit and how it will directly spiritually be affecting you. Now, yes, it has been a tedious few months and it has been pretty challenging for you guys. It can start easing up, but really it feels like you've integrated within your soul, really, that of what you need inside of a connection. And that was really after the full moon in Aquarius. So it's almost like the reader or a song. The old you's dead and gone. This new vibration's coming through. Maybe even looking at where you had a position and circumstances. So the way you show up is going to change the way you attract. Now, this can be a month for many of us, especially those of us that are single. We can be reflecting down memory lane. We may be looking at our relationships and how they affected us, what the give and take is. But you may find that you have the gift of the gab this month, and definitely you can be hearing from people from the past and assessing those things. Also be super careful about, the way in which you're communicating. But I feel that, again, like I mentioned, you'll have the gift of the gab and you will know how to really communicate effectively to get to the root cause of certain things. I do feel if you've been frustrated because you felt left out in the cold and you've had the whole world coming at you, that also can ease up. And it definitely has developed you within your zodiac sign to a different level. Now, I also feel the deeper intimacy within these connections can be growing, but it can also be a time when changes can happen on the home front. Now, yes, that can be beautifying the home. It can also be conversations of, should we move in? Really take the time to reflect over that and look at the give and take and look at that negotiation as a strategy. But try not to expect everything in 24 hours. Understand it's a process, a little bit like courting, go with the flow. Now, those of you within a connection, as I mentioned, it has been pretty serious, good old Saturn and Aquarius, and you might have felt, again, that you were it. It's a bit like tag team, right? You're it, it's all on you. And yes, at times we can feel quite emotional, balancing work, balancing family, balancing friendships, and it did feel like everything was coming at you. It has changed you. It's really, you're moving through that portal, you're transforming. There might have been some shake-ups in the career field, which added to then the connection. It's a lot to stomach. Now, you will find yet again, moving through this month, things can balance out. Those of you more so in a connection where it's not conducive and the give and take isn't there, I feel you could be very firm this month with such and this could really be the tension point where enough is enough. So you might find, although you can try and neutralize things, you may be able to see other people's perspectives. Your goal in general, you're willing to move hell and high water providing people are working with you. So I do feel you'll really be communicating to your friends, to your loved ones, even your work, effectively communicating, but yet again, try not to give your power away. If it's something you need to tackle, go straight to the horse, not go to Arthur, Martha, May, because that avoidance can really come back after and affect us. So I do feel spiritually you've been doing a lot of internal work. And then when it came to the love domain, if the give and take hasn't been there, you might have been putting certain things on hold and feeling like everything was your problem. It's really, there's no I in team. We can be unique and away from the tribe, but I feel you will spiritually really be requiring that. We can initially, through this month, go into rose-colored glasses, similar to a Venus retrograde, but I feel it will be looking at, again, at the balance. What can you do? What can I do? And it's not, look, if I'm good, you know, do I get an ice cream? It's more the notion of, what is the give and take in this? What is the highest octane? How can I be compassionate and understanding, but also still require the same benchmark of respect and integrity? So I feel it'll be a little bit tedious, maybe towards the second and third week. It will ease up. It's not permanent, but it's definitely going to develop us to a different level where we can be a higher octane of self. Now, as to expenses and money, those of you looking for jobs at the moment, you may be really reflective on it. And because we do have a lot of transits in the house in Libra, for your zodiac sign, it's your friendship groups, it's your love life, it's your the give and take. It's also, you know, what you can do, what you want, what steps are you willing to take, and is the other party, and that's both in work, both in your career. Right now, if you are unemployed, put your resumes out. If you are dissatisfied with the job, assess it, accept it, take steps. Use the time during Mercury retrograde to reflect, as well as being creative with Uranus and Taurus retrograde. It's going to give you the ingenuity to do something outside the box, and it can be quite radical. So, you know, if you have been in a workplace and you've been deeply dissatisfied, this can be an abrupt ending where you suddenly go, look, I just really don't feel I resonate with this. If you're needing to create that stability and do that transition over, it's more supported and conducive. But again, I am feeling for some of you, it can be direct changes, suddenly, you know, receiving a job, having changes in that area, more income coming in. But there are things surrounding you that your emotions are going to need to be in check, as well as, how would I put it, mind, body, soul, and nervousness. The nervousness is telling you something, so please learn to listen to your soul. You know, sometimes we get cross that we feel people don't understand us, but a lot of times it can be that we directly haven't stopped and acknowledged, hey, this makes me feel some sort of way. And I feel by you moving into that boss energy, it's going to give you your power back, and it will vibrate directly outside of you. I also feel you guys really, from a viewpoint, are looking at maybe how you can change your appearance, maybe how, you know, with what steps can you take to increase your threshold of income? What steps can you take to secure contracts? It might even be advertising, really beautifying and being very out there with it. I do feel all of these things will directly benefit you. And really moving into the month of October, you can physically see those direct transformations in those areas for advancement in your career field. Now, I would say, how do I put it? If you're going to do anything that is really permanently changing things during the Mercury retrograde effect, and it is cosmetic in relation, it might be, you know, contacts or something to that, but it's more the permanency. I would really steer clear of that till the first 1 to 2 weeks in October, because we can almost get that whole Venus retrograde effect, even though it's Mercury, where we can actually regret it. So it's be careful with what you say. Make sure you check your emails. Take the patience and the time. Understand it's happening for you, not to you. And on the other side of this, all of us can kind of sing Kumbaya and say, wow, we learned something. So I'm hoping you're going to be laughing with me. I have Libra in my chart. I'm a Libra. So I'm sure I'm going to directly be experiencing that because I am on media. So we do need to be mindful that there can be confusion during this time and frustrations. But nevertheless, every step you're taking is in developing and moving that ship forward. Now, last but not least, I will say that there is a possibility that some of you will be moving. Some of you will be upgrading your home and changing, and money can actually be spent in these areas. So if you find that you're looking at the home and you're wanting to beautify it, you're also upgrading security and things to that degree, or you're directly working a business from home, this can be a very positive time and you can be really fine-tuning things. I also feel when it does come to health, a lot of you can be looking at your appearance, the way you're showing up, but also privacy. It might be paperwork and taxation and legalities, whatever those things are. They're there for the benefit of it moving forward. Separately, I do feel on the health front, we do need to be careful of that, of what we consume. And again, our emotions sometimes can get the better of us. The last few months have been pretty intense with transits. Yes, it can ease up, but again, mindfulness is where our power is really. If we're aware that something's coming up and we can be understanding, compassionate, we can get that frequency back in balance, you know, and even learning to listen to self, that's really an art, and it does take some time, because initially we can be feeling nobody's listening to me, you know, why is this happening? But then when we have that epiphany and that breakthrough, that in fact we're actually also needing to personally honor that of what we're feeling, where we can have these major breakthroughs, we then are in our empowerment. Now, the intensity also can come through dehydration, but I do feel that you're looking at your appearance. I feel you're looking at how you can shape up and get that body back, look at the beautification, but it's also the inner work that all of us collectively have been doing. So it will be the inside and the outside directly matching, but also potentially not taking everything so personal. It has been, when we are in the third eye, we can be really feeling like the whole world's against us. Also from a health point of view, I do feel you might be looking at the spirituality, you may be looking at your values, you also could be looking at, okay, in the bigger picture, how do I get to a point that I am protected, that I have my privacy, that I have my integrity intact? I would say also with your intimate connections, this can be a time when you can be very, okay, I need to articulate how this situation is making me feel. Okay, I spiritually require such, but I do feel there can be a breakthrough. This can be very crown chakra linked. But also when it does come to the bigger picture and opening up and speaking your truth and, you know, creating that firm foundation, something you can directly depend on, there can be a breakthrough. Or potentially, if you are dealing with certain people and you're feeling they're not working with you, you can move away from it. Overall, with the first moon phase, we're going to get into the moon phases to give you a bit of a guide. And I'm really feeling overall for the entire energy of this month, it is going to benefit you. And it's definitely going to feel a lot different to last month. But, you know, spiritually speaking, it's almost like I do feel a lot of you are going to want to be very protective of yourself. I do feel a lot of you are going to feel as though you want to protect your nearest and dearest, and you don't quite know what to do, but you really have to go inside and find your own value system of how it resonates onto the moon phases. Now, on the 7th of September, we are having the new moon in Virgo. We also will be in the shadow phase of Mercury, gearing up ready to go retrograde in Libra. For you, I would highly recommend that emotionally moving into it, be very careful of your throat chakra. Also be very careful of that of what you consume. Look at your emotions, do some journaling, and sit with the manifestations of what you're wanting to create and trust the process. I do feel this can be a very positive time for you. It can also be very exciting. Heart-centered conversations, value systems really organically matching, but really digging deep and realizing that through your mind you can create miracles. Now, on the 20th, we are having the full moon in Pisces. Now, Pisces is very spiritual, it's logical, it's also distortion and disillusionment, it's our value system. So for you, it does hit your 8th house. Now, 8th house is that of what we can depend on. What can we, what can't we? Are we trapped? Are we not? Is there a way we can do such? give and taking connections, taxation, legacies, death, inheritances. So spiritually speaking, maybe having to overcome a trigger, maybe having to spiritually look at the value of what is happening in the collective. And it's interesting because over the last few weeks, I have had a lot of inboxes really, from a spiritual point of view of what is happening relating to health and all things as such. And really there's no right or wrong. I would never, in a position I'm in, ever impose my values due to the fact that we all are unique and we all have our values. And I feel there's no right or wrong answer, but you can find from an astrological point of view that moving into October, life in the globe can look extremely different. So try and trust the process. And I will see you during the month. Look after yourselves. I'll be live on Fridays at 10 a.m. Greensmitchen time. Otherwise, if you need a booking, you can go to the link directly below. Love and light. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining Yildiz Readings. If you do need to find the link for the Members Hub, it is directly below in the information box, or you can see above on the screen, it's on the main page. Now we have 3 tier levels, as well as on Fridays, we are live on the main platform. By clicking the bell, I automate posts for both the members and the main page, plus any additional information I feel you need. The website is been updated and we do have a lot more content on it, as well as new products coming in 2022. If you do want to join webinars, we have the list, as well as the launch of the Age of Aquarius with the VIP list. For all my other media content, follow me live on the links below. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, we all have it covered and we have more content coming. See you during the week.